clicking on the Prime Academy Learning Center Algebra menu brings up this web page. The web page is from the HP Prime Guide to Algebra Fundamentals. These are the chapters that are in the guide. This is the ebook menu. Image rollovers are on the active parts. Explanation 1.7 Rational Expressions ebook page is shown on the right. What we're going to do with the Algebra tab is work on these 7 sections and show you examples of calculator screens to help you practice with your HP Prime. We scrolled back up to the top of the Algebra page and we'll look at an example of screens that are available to us. If we go under real numbers and go over to order of operations, we can go directly to that page. Then if we click on Content 2, we can see the explanation of how we work a problem manually, and we can see the screenshot of how the problem is entered into the calculator. Let's go ahead and enter this problem into the calculator. First thing we want to do is clear our screen, so we'll press Shift and Escape to get the clear option. We press the template key and choose the first option for a fraction. We enter the numerator, 2 times parentheses 4 plus 3, exit our parentheses, minus 1 times 3, move down to our denominator, 7, hit the square key, plus 1, raise to the power key, 4, and then press enter. And we see that the answer turns out to be 1150, which is the same answer we got by working the problem manually. Take a look at the other content pages shown under the Algebra menu. Now let's take a look at a link shown under the info menu item. So we'll go back, we'll hit the info. The info menu shows us links about immediate mode and embedded Academy Primes. We could have went directly to this immediate mode from the drop down menu, but we wanted to show you the other options that were available. So we'll click on the immediate mode. In the immediate mode, we learn how to add functions to our calculator. This can be free and light versions of the apps as well. Let's take a closer look at our immediate mode CAS-var functions. In particular, let's start with the algebra ones. The algebra ones were added in this site because the ones in the book were used in the program editor. We wanted to make this as flexible as possible so that the HP Prime Lite or Free could use these. The Lite or Free is the one that goes with iOS, with Android, or with the Windows apps. With the Free or Lite having the same home and CAS system as the handheld, the emulator, or the Pro models, the calculator can easily be used through your finite math and applied calculus courses. I use the virtual PC emulator or Mac emulator that is available from HP's website to develop these one-line functions. And then once I have them all figured out, I put the functions together and come up with this page. Areas other than algebra have links to the page. These links show a description of how they work. We should mention that here we have shortened up the entry of these one-line functions by dropping the requirement for begin, return, and end that was required in previous versions for the HP Pro. When we looked at these functions underneath the HP Prime Connectivity Kit, it would crash. That is not a current problem. So we can enter these directly into our calculator. We'll demonstrate with the loan function. We'll first scroll so that we can view the loan function easier. And what we want to do is we'll double click on the word loan, then we'll hold down the shift key and click on the end. Then we want to copy this, so we'll control copy, and then we'll go over to our calculator. We'll use the calculator apps paste function for the calculator and paste it in. You can see that this function is quite complex, and we'll press enter. We will demonstrate two uses of the loan function before moving on. Let's clear our calculator out. Let's go to our var key. Let's go to programs. We only have one, our loan program. So we enter this to get loan into our calculator. The first thing it wants is the present value of money. So say we wanted to figure out what a loan would be for what amount, we'll put in X. Say we can afford to make payments of $400. Then we'll enter what the rate is. So let's say we're going to get a loan for 5%. So we'll enter 5%. We'll enter the compound period as the next parameter. So loans are done monthly. So we'll put in 12. And we'll say we want to do this loan for 5 years. And we'll press enter. So it says that will allow us to borrow $21,196.28. Okay, let's work this formula backwards. So we'll click on it, we'll copy it down. Here, we'll go over to here. We'll say we wanted to borrow backspace. So let's say we wanted to borrow $25,000 with the other information being the same. Put a comma. We need to get rid of the 400. So we'll put the X in here. We'll use the shortcut since this is in the function menu. We can just press the X right here and we'll press enter. That will be payments of $471.78. So we can see that this function is quite useful. Now there already are functions for finance in the Pro model and in the emulator and in the handheld, but this allows us to add it to the Lite free, and it will also allow us to add this function to those other ones too. Returning to our web page, let's look at some more resources. So we're going to go back to our menu item for the Prime Academy Learning Center. We're going to directly go to the links page. And on the links page, we have put together some links that we think will be helpful for you. The first one we're going to look at is this link right here, where we go over the SCIS YouTube done by this gentleman and convert them all over to our HP Prime. So we're going to click on the link, and then we're going to scroll down in the link, and it shows us some screens that we have created. We can look over this page and the remaining pages in this forum to see lots of examples created. So we'll click down and it will show us some more. We'll click down and it will show us some more functions, and we'll click down and it will show us some more functions, and we'll click in and show us some more. And we keep clicking to see more and more functions that were created. Here we see some matrix functions. So again, go over these functions and take a look at which ones you would like to use. Returning to our SCAS conversions, we go back to the info menu and take a look at the second link here. The second link takes us to learning about how to use the graphing part of our calculator. This part we did not cover very much on, so you probably would want to look at this site. We'll go back to our links, and from our links, the other site that you probably will want to look at is David Hayes' technology site. So we'll click on this to get us here, and we'll click for this particular one right here, view full playlist, and it will show us all the different HP Prime ones he has put together. Now, he's not an expert on the HP Prime, but there is a lot of information here that you probably would want to look at. This ends our video on using Algebra pages and other Prime Academy Learning Center resources.